Welcome to Formula Friday, your weekly Formula One show. I'm Nick. Without Lewis tonight, no worries. He had something to take care of tonight, so he should be back next week, and then he'll be able to geek out about Adrian Newey and all of the design of the new Aston Martin because dude is a fan. So, since it's just me, I guess we'll just jump right into it. I'm going to start with Cadillac doing a countdown in Times Square of their car reveal. Read an article from Madeline Coleman of The Athletic. So what's going to happen is in Times Square, there is a silhouette of a Formula One car in the main, I don't know, structure of Times Square. And there's a countdown, counting down to the commercial where we get the Cadillac car reveal. And this, I love this automatically. It's the same thing that Lewis and I have been saying the whole time, where Cadillac is just doing everything right with their marketing and their drivers and everything they're doing. And if you want to make an impact as the first true American Formula One team, yes, I'm purposely shading Haas, then this is kind of the perfect way to do it. You have a bunch of eyes that might not even be familiar with the sport on Times Square, and they're revealing it on the most watched sporting event in the world. It's just going to do nothing but good things, and I hope it brings more eyes in this and their partnership with Apple, bringing Formula One more into the fold of kind of the common everyday person. I think that Cadillac is kind of single-handedly bringing Formula One to the US in a major way. Valtteri Bottas, in this interview, again by Madeline Coleman on The Athletic, said that they're essentially being treated like rock stars. They are giving the Cadillac reveal the rock star treatment, which is also extremely American. It's loud, it's boisterous in all the good ways, and I can't wait to see what the result of this is. If you want to read that article yourself, I strongly recommend it if you have an athletic subscription. It is very well done, and I'm just really stoked for the whole thing. Once again, the only thing I'm looking forward to in the Super Bowl is the Cadillac car reveal. I'm still going to watch the game. I'm a Dolphins fan. Want the Patriots to lose. I can't stand the Patriots. And I literally have no thoughts on the Seahawks whatsoever. I could not care less about this Super Bowl except for the Cadillac car reveal, which I am stoked for. Now, kind of continuing with the Cadillac reveal, their merch store is supposed to launch tomorrow. We're supposed to get their merch tomorrow, but maybe that's overseas time because, well, we have some of their merch now. And I think it will help kind of give an idea of the direction they're taking the car. So here is just one of the pictures. It's Valtteri and Checo. Valtteri's got like this, I don't know how to describe it. I've been seeing this style kind of making a comeback. It's like preppy. I don't know how what it is. It's like a very Ivy League kind of sweater with like that collar, and then it says Cadillac Formula One team, and it's got a red stripe with a white stripe. Checo wearing a sweat, which by the way, Checo's hoodie is incredible. I love this hoodie. It's kind of like this. It's not fully white. It's more of a cream color with the red and the black. And to me, this is telling me that the Cadillac is going to be probably mostly black with red accents and some white, which, whatever. That's fine. It looks good. I still really want the Cadillac to be yellow for no other reason other than I like the Cadillac WEC car. But it's looking really good from a design standpoint. I really like Checo's sweater a lot. It's a really good looking hoodie. So we have that, and now we can speculate a bit about what the Cadillac will look like. I still am holding out hope for yellow. I have no basis other than hope and copium. Something that I mentioned Cadillac, doing everything in a very American boisterous way. The Miami racetrack, well, a lot of people don't like the Miami racetrack for bad racing design, whatever. I actually don't mind the design a whole lot. What I hated the most about Miami was year one, where they had that yacht club, but they just kind of brought yachts from the ocean and they put it in a parking lot, and they had this weird, almost Teflon looking water thing looked like garbage. The last couple years, it seems like they've scaled back the yacht club thing, whatever the hell they're doing, and it I hate it less, but now I feel like they're going in a worse direction, but it seems like a compromise, so nobody's happy. The new yacht club at Miami will feature, instead of bringing in yachts, they're building a structure that kind of looks like a yacht and people can just hang out on it and watch the race. They still have the dumb sand and it still looks bad, but it's somehow better to me than them just kind of dropping yachts into the middle of the parking lot. I still hate I still hate it. I don't like whatever the hell it is they're doing with Miami. Just make it a it can be a good track. Again, Dolphins fan. I like that area. I don't like Hard Rock Stadium, but I get the vibe, but there's a way to do the vibe of Miami without whatever the hell this is. It looks terrible and it's disgusting and I just hate it. Some more news that came down. Netflix is releasing a Schumacher documentary. Not that Schumacher documentary, which if you haven't watched it yet, by the way, I highly recommend it. But this is about Schumacher's 1994 season. It comes out later this year. I am really excited for it. I think Michael Schumacher is a very interesting figure. I mean, obviously, legend of the sport. He is an incredible race car driver, and just seeing the 1994 season kind of centered around him and his accomplishments and how that whole season went is going to be interesting because that was a very interesting season just in and out of itself. So that's coming out later this year. Another former driver, Jenson Button, is now the new ambassador for Aston Martin. I know I'm just kind of quick hitting through these news stories, but I mean that's kind of what it is. We got a lot of news and not a whole lot of talking points. But Jenson Button, new ambassador for Aston Martin. He was obviously former McLaren driver. You've seen him on the grid do interviews and stuff. A lot of former drivers are becoming ambassadors. Danny Rick is the ambassador for Ford, which by default makes him the ambassador for Red Bull. This is an interesting move to me because it shows again that Aston is cooking something. I just don't know what it is. But if Jensen wants to get on board and be their representative, even with Lance Stroll on that team, that is wild to me. And I mean, I don't it's not gonna, like, move mountains or anything in this title. It's not gonna do anything special, but the fact that he's putting his name on the brand enough is really cool to me, and I like that. Shout out to Jenson Button, former McLaren driver. Go McLaren. And something that I thought was I'm not I almost said it was the biggest piece of news. It's not the biggest piece of news, but it's a news item that I'm really happy about. Jack DOOHAN is returning to Formula 1. He is going to share third driver duties with Haas next to Ryu Hirakawa. I like this a lot because I thought that Jack Doohan's time at Alpine, not only was it cut short extremely too soon, but they traded him for Colapinto, who might be worse and might be the same. Colapinto is either a worse or lateral move for Alpine. And I thought that Jack kind of got the short end of the stick. He's a rookie driver. You can't judge his entire ability, his entire career off of 6 races, especially Alpine. What are you doing? It never made any sense to me. So I'm glad that Jack is going to get an opportunity to at least stay in the Formula One sphere. I know it doesn't mean he's going to for sure come back into Formula One, but the fact that he's still in the conversation, I guess, makes me very happy. And he can only improve. He can only keep going up. He's still going to get a chance to drive the Haas in free practice sessions. And I'm just, I don't, I don't think he's ever going to win a championship. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Probably won't. But I do want him to at least get a chance. It's the same problem I had with Mick, ironically, also a Haas driver. But Mick had the curse of driving the 2021 Haas, the 2022 Haas, and living in the shadow of his father. And all of that mixed together, it wasn't fair. I don't think Mick had a fair shake, and his teammate was Nikita Mazepin. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there. All of this to say is you need to give a driver time to develop, and I get that Formula 1 is hyper competitive, but in the case of Jack, you can't just bin the driver after 6 races when he hasn't really had a chance to prove himself. And again, in Alpine that Pierre Gasly was even having trouble driving. Pierre Gasly's not a slouch. So, Jack, I'm happy that you're still in Formula 1. Now, this kind of leads into the next topic. Williams has a new sponsor, Cloud AI. Cloud? Whatever. They claim that they're using Cloud to help with how the team thinks, plans, etc., etc., etc. And just a quick theme that I've been noticing is you know how every Formula One team seems to have a drink sponsor? Just some kind of alcohol sponsor. There's always one. Sometimes it's vapes. There's always one type of thing that a Formula One team has. And AI is quickly becoming that. And I think it's just more proof that an AI bubble is coming. This is just a side tangent. If there's enough AI things out there that Formula One teams can just have one at each sponsor, that's crazy. So, what I want to focus on is they're using it to help with how the team basically plans. Now, everybody's made the jokes, oh, their car is going to be horrible because they're going to ask AI, they're going to vibe code the car. I think there is something a little to that. Now, obviously, they're using it more as a tool to help with that. But at the same time, people like Adrian Newey, I'm going to get on my soapbox here, have been in the sport for years. They've consistently cranked out amazing banger after banger after banger of car, and they did it without AI. AI is not at a place, in my opinion, to be trusting it with Formula One and all of the intricacies in Formula One. I'm not saying there's not a place for it in the future because as a tool, I get it. AI is great as a tool for helping with like business and strategy, not strategy, but stuff like that. But if this is going to turn into, hey Cloud, tell me how to knock 5 seconds off of my time at Spa. I don't know if that's quite going to do it. A lot of this is me yelling at Cloud, speculating, just being mad at nobody. But it is something that I at least want to like bring up and put on the radar of, hey, maybe if Ferrari's pit stops and strategies start to make sense compared to what Williams is doing, then you know that AI is not working out very well in their favor. Now, continuing with Williams, we got their car reveal. Here is the 2026 Williams. I'm going to start with what I like. I'm glad they're keeping the Duracell air intake because that is, once again, one of the best design choices I've ever seen in a Formula One car. I don't know what it is about that, but it just looks so. I mean, it's perfect. That's what it is about that. It just looks so good. What I do like, another thing, I do like the colors. I like the white and then the lighter shade of blue and then the dark shade of blue. It's integrating kind of that Gulf baby blue color with the rest of the Williams blues. It looks really solid and it kind of harkens back to old school Williams. And again, it is a very vibrant looking car. We've seen this pattern over and over with all of the cars in Formula One this season. It just pops. Now, what I don't like is the design itself. I think they have really good combinations of colors here. And I think that there's a lot that they could have done with it. And the design just seems so boring to me. I just don't love it, but eh, it is what it is. I it's not the worst one. It's not my least favorite one that we've seen so far, but it could have been more. That I just feel like it could have been a little more. I am going to take a quick second and bring a friend in. Lewis is now been made available. So give me 1 sec to get them all set up in here and we can continue on. We can get his thoughts on some of these things I've hit on. We'll be right back.
Formula.
Hey, Lewis. He can't hear me because I didn't send him my link. That's how that works. I apologize for doing all of this on the fly, but it's fine. I agree with what you said, by the way, Mose. You can't really
Hey,
tell
how's
that
it
it's a
going?
Williams other than just the blue. I get that. It's just kind of boring. Williams had an opportunity to do so much more than they did, and they just kind of squandered it, in my opinion. I do not like and I don't like what they did with it. That theme song also, by the way, was done by my friend Patches. I used to race in a league with him, and the first iteration of Formula Friday, he did that theme song for me, and I kept it because that, like you said, the theme song slaps. I love the Formula Friday theme song so much.
All right, Nick. Hey, I am here. Sorry about that, guys. To the Formula Friday fanatics and family. Had a little bit of a family issue tonight, so I was a little bit late. I'm so sorry, guys.
You're good. I get
I
it. Things happen.
So real quick, going back for what you said about the Claude and AI and everything, I
Yeah,
have some takes for that.
share them.
So, as a guy who programs, I program pretty well. It was a hobby until recently. Uh, iRaceControl.com self plug. There was like a time where what I would do is vibe coding and stuff, which is cool in a way. AI is a cool tool. I feel like it's kind of remember when every F1 team had a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, that is kind of what it reminds me of. It's a very
Yes.
trendy kind of sponsor.
Yes, and then Mercedes is Microsoft and Meta, which I wonder how that's going to work because Open AI is very heavily invested into Microsoft and
Mhm.
their Copilot. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I'm assuming Mercedes or McLaren's going to be Gemini. uh
Yeah, no, for
big
sure.
big Gemini people, but like I do not am not a huge fan of everything going to be the AI. I feel like it's going to be a weird bubble and we're going to see, what was it, OKX, I forgot the brand that like collapsed and like was awful for crypto. I was never big into crypto, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a
Oh,
huge fan of that.
OKX.
OKX, yeah,
Ah!
that. Oh no, well, there goes the floorboard again.
Oh, hey.
Also, the Williams car, yes,
Yes.
Duracell, best sponsorship on an F1 car. It is
I don't know
beautiful.
what it is about it. It's just perfect. It just
It is
works.
it is the perfect shape. It is beautiful. I love it, and I think it's great sponsor. The car itself, though, uh, it's very like nothing new. Like it's just, hey, let's add a little bit of color here. I'm not a huge fan of it. That's gonna be my thing with it.
Right. And again, the picture I showed it, I mean, that's just the rendering. Obviously, everything's going to look different. I can't even get like a good picture or view of what the chicken wing looks like on the side. But it just, I mean, Mo said it perfectly. It looks like a race car. That's both a compliment and a knock. It's
Yeah,
as
that's very true.
it's as unique as Red Bull's yellow nose.
All right, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
that's very fair.
Do you have any other takes about anything else? I know you were in the comments.
Yeah, I was in the comments. I was trying to watch while getting the kids ready for bed and everything. It's been fun venture, but yes, no other really hot takes. Uh Cadillac, the sweater and everything, very 90s aesthetic.
It
I like
does.
it.
It is very 90s. I love the hoodie. It looks really good. And it's like that cream color, the cream with that red, that Cadillac red looks really nice together.
Yeah, it does hit pretty good. I like it. But other than that, I think you did a good job. Again, I'm so sorry.
Dude, you're fine. No, nothing to worry about. Something that I've realized about myself is if I don't have you to bounce stuff off of, I just kind of crank out these new segments. I'm basically almost done. I didn't have a whole lot
Yeah, I
else to
noticed that.
do. Do you want to do your newy stuff this week, or do you want to wait until next week after we get the review?
Oh. So I can do a little bit of a little preview of it, I guess. Just from the initial shakedown and reading the interview he did, which is very cool.
Yeah, let's do a little appetizer of the Aston Martin.
Uh TLDW. Well,
TLDR.
what
Oh,
people are
watch.
watching, listen, whatever. That guy is a madman. Like, it is insane. The design principles on that car are, oh my god. Like, I saw it and I was perplexed by everything I saw. It was beautiful. It was crazy. I even sent it to my buddy who is an engineer. He is a full-blown engineer, has the ticks of an engineer and like thinks like an engineer is everything. He was
Mhm.
looking at it. He goes, "This thing is weird. This thing is black magic." And I'm like, I know. The the man's a genius. Like, there's nothing more like to say about it. And he did an interview about it, and there said something, but basically his main concern about building this car was not to be the fastest car right out the gates. It was to have the car with the best potential. So every design principle is there for a reason to make the car better in the long term, and that is such a beautiful way of putting it.
Mhm.
The guy is madman from, and if anybody hasn't seen it, he he's done some crazy designs to the point of a underbite side scoop to mounting the rear suspension to the wing. I
It's I I don't know what he's trying to do.
I don't know, but like I've had this. I think I've had this discussion with you. I've had this discussion with other people. Is he a genius or is he crazy? Like, I don't know with this design.
Why not both?
Yes. Uh yeah. Mo said in chat, it looks I've seen someone describe the Aston Martin shakedown as black, looks like a spaceship. And yes, it is a black, insane spaceship. And if it can drive like that and with the Honda power, and if Honda keeps up their good stuff, Nick, here's a question I want to ask you.
Yes.
Do we see Fernando another champion? Yep.
I'm no. I don't think we're gonna get a Fernando championship, but I do think that Fernando's going to kind of throw a spanner into things. I think he might end up in a position. Now, this is not exactly one for one, but I could see him being a cheeky third place who doesn't really have it in him to, or not have it in him, but doesn't have the car quite for a championship, but is there to kind of mix it up in the top two. I could see
Okay.
that. Not now, not this season, but eventually, if if he stays in, because I
Yeah.
still think he's going to retire soon.
Yeah. Do we see? Okay, here, if you had a gamble, if we had
Mhm.
we need a gambling sponsorship for this, but would you put money in Lance winning a championship in the next year or two, just based off the car?
No, because I know people joke a lot, and some people genuinely believe that Formula One is all car and no driver, but that's silly because it's car and driver. It's the combination of the car and the driver that wins a championship. You can't have a great car with a bad driver. The car will make up for a lot of the bad driving, but it's not going to win you a championship. I
Yes.
don't I can't think of any person who's won the championship who you can look back on and be like, they didn't deserve to win it though because they're not a good driver. It was all the car. People would say that about Lewis Hamilton every year, which is insane, by the way. They would
Yeah.
say that about Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I don't think that there ever has been a driver who's won it because of just the car.
Right. If Lance gets put in a spaceship of a car from Adrian Newey, I could see him consistently qualifying in. I could see him getting consistent Q3s, not Q3s all the time, but consistent Q3s, and I could see him maybe getting a podium here and there. But that's not a champion. He's not going to win a championship.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Okay. But Okay, and then here's another question for you, Nick, that I really want to bounce off of somebody who knows me really well and can keep me level headed.
Sounds about like
Am
me.
am I overhyping this car?
The more that comes out about this car and just knowing the kind of designer that Adrian Newey is, it makes me nervous that it will be something either incredible or insanely, like, weird in a way that still kinda works, but it's not a contender. With what we've heard coming out of the Mercedes camp and, weirdly enough, the Ferrari camp and Red Bull, I think it's gonna be hard pressed to compete with them, but I could see it being a best of the rest situation.
Mm,
I
yeah.
don't know if you're overhyping it though, because we've seen Adrian Newey just consistently do this, where he just designs a car and it's incredible. You might have the appropriate level of hype. I don't know where that level of hype is realistically, but again, it's not it's not gonna be enough to win Lance Stroll a championship because that's just not going to happen. But I could see it putting Fernando in the conversation to, like I said, kind of play spoiler with a few things.
Okay, yeah. It's just Adrian Newey is the greatest designer in Formula One history. I will go ahead and put that on a limb. And now he's
100%.
also team principal too. So that just plays a whole like the wind tunnel is insane now.
Yeah, the wind tunnel is crazy. It's he described it as what the most sophisticated wind tunnel ever designed.
Yeah.
They gave him the power and the resources, and he's using them exactly how you think he would.
Yeah. Lawrence Stroll just gave him a blank check.
Mhm.
And he's just like, okay, and just went crazy with it. This thing has devil horns on it. This thing is black magic.
Yeah, they're bringing back the design philosophy. Speaking of Jensen Button, that McLaren had that he
Yeah.
drove.
Jensen
It,
Button, world champion. Like,
world champion Jensen Button. Fernando won't get there again, but he'll play spoiler. I just I don't know what to expect, and I mean, Mo says it perfectly. The hype is what makes the next 2 months so much fun. He's exactly right. It's the next 2 months in the first half of the season. It's going to be insane. I
yes.
am very confident in saying that the next 6 months of Formula One is going to be some of the wildest Formula One we've seen in a long time.
Yes. And especially if these cars, if they do what they say and they produce less dirty air and the cars could be closer, the battles could be closer, and it's that much insane.
Especially
It,
with the not mom system and
yeah.
whatever it's going to be called, whatever it's called now.
Active Arrow, like, I don't know. Like,
This, I just, I want to enjoy this first season of these regulations because in the next 2 to 3 seasons, all the fun is going to be out as people discover the meta ways to build a car and the things that works. And then it's
yes.
going to get kind of boring again, which is, I'm glad we get new regulation cycles every few years. But these first season, especially the first season, no holds barred. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait.
Yes. And I sent you a video from Jimmy Broadbent, who's a great YouTuber, sim racer that turned into a real race car driver. And
Mhm.
he did a video comparison of, like, I forgot what year it was, 2013 Formula One car, last generation Formula One car, and then this one. And just from the little bits, like, it is looser, it is more, it has so much more characteristic. And if that is true, and it's a lot more driver and stuff, we're gonna see Lewis Hamilton back in his prime.
We absolutely are. And based off of what we've heard coming out of the Ferrari camp, and I guess Ferrari, but there's videos. Lewis is late break Lewis. He's back. That's his driving style. Lewis has always been a late breaker, and that's always paid off for him. He is going he's going to be way more comfortable. Lewis Hamilton is going to be a threat again this season. Especially if
Yes.
the Ferrari if Ferrari figured out how to do something. Because I mean that's what it is. Like I've seen quotes from people. Charles Leclerc is smiling after
Yes.
driving the car now, which says a lot. That speaks volumes that Charles is smiling again. It's Ferrari. We could see Ferrari being back to competing for second, which we haven't really gotten in a season.
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't really think it's. You know what? Now that you mention it, it's been so long since I've seen Charles smile like that. Yeah. Huh.
It's a little ominous in a way.
Yeah. It's almost like, oh, something bad's gonna happen.
Or something insanely good, depending on what kind of fan you are. I wanted to jump back to the AI thing because I saw this morning. Cadillac also has an AI partner,
Oh.
but I've never even heard of, like, I've heard of Cloud before, but TWG AI is the official AI partner of Cadillac Formula One. I don't even know what that is. Now I could do research. I don't want to, but I've never. We're getting to the point where it's like the crypto thing. We're getting so many that we've never heard of before. It's just they're just they exist. They're just there.
Uh okay. So that's really loud. I just went to that website.
Oh,
That is the
careful.
yeah. This one I'm gonna like say this that is the best hype video for a Cadillac team. I am so pumped for that team right now.
Yeah.
It is just a hype video for Cadillac when you
Uh,
first go to that website.
Mose asks, he heard Lewis helped design the Ferrari. Is that true? Lewis definitely had a hand in it.
Yes, I did.
They've restructured the management around him specifically for him to fit him. They poached people from McLaren and other teams. It very much feels like they are trying to finally work with Lewis, because if you have eight, sorry, 7 8 time world champion like Lewis Hamilton driving for you, you do whatever the hell he wants because he is going to try to deliver you your first championship since Kimi did back in, it's been so long I don't remember. When did Kimi win the championship for Ferrari?
I want to say '09, but let me check
Consult the
my
poster.
'07.
Oh, 07.
Yeah.
It
That's
I we've talked about this so much in the past. We both want Lewis to do well. We don't want Lewis to go out with a whimper. We want him to go out with a bang. And I still believe in my heart that he would have retired in 2021 if he would have been crowned the world champion, because 8 championships, done. Perfect. He is still chasing that eighth. He still has the drive and that competitive spirit, and you could hear it all last season with how frustrated he was with Ferrari and the Ferrari of it all. And he just wasn't afraid to speak up about it, which is good. Ferrari needed somebody like that with Lewis Hamilton's cachet that could speak up and basically say, "Hey, this car is shit. Maybe we should do something about it. I'm Lewis Hamilton. I have a platform. You have to do it now."
yeah, and then it took him how long just to even get rid of the like it took him a whole season to get rid of the engineer.
It really did. And part of me wants to believe that they really waited to buckle down and go full throttle with the Lewis Hamilton philosophy, building the team around him until this new regulation cycle, because it was coming. 2025 just kind of felt like a lame duck year for Lewis Hamilton. But I
Yeah.
don't think he's done or washed up. I hope he's not. I need to see him hopefully get that eighth championship, but I at least want to see him winning again.
Yeah, I so like I don't want to say like I grew up watching, but like, my whole and getting into Formula One initially, it was ham bot ver or ham ver bot. Like it's
Mhm.
always just ham on top. You know what? I kind of long for those days.
I do too. Not the constant ham verbot, although I didn't hate it, but just the ham on top. Just a really bad sandwich.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good way of saying that. Yeah. Uh, yeah, he remember when he used to be so happy at Mercedes and then it started going downhill and everything. And then at the last season, you could just tell.
Well, it's the regulations. It goes back
Yes.
to whatever the regulations were. It forced him into a driving style that he wasn't comfortable with. That's what
y-
really that I shouldn't say it so definitively. That's what I believe really happened. I believe that the way the car was designed just did not fit Lewis's driving style that he had had since 2007. Well, before 2007, but his first season in Formula 1.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. And I think that hopefully, this does bring him back to Prime Lewis.
I also hope that. All right, Lewis. Should we wrap this up with our head-to-head?
Ooh, who we have this week? Who's on? What's on the menu?
So I've only got one team for the head-to-head uh, this week.
Okay.
Some of it is because at some point we're only going to have one team because there's 11 teams now, and that just doesn't
Oh
math out.
yeah, oh, that's so weird.
The other reason is I've been very busy personally with work and stuff this week, so I haven't really
Yes.
had time to crank out one. But we're going to be looking at Aston Martin today. Lewis, Fernando Alonso, and Lance Stroll in 2025. So again, I have four categories: wins, podiums, Q3 percentage, and average finish positions. These stats, except for Q3 percentage, come from a combination of bigf1data.com, my favorite stats website in Formula One, not an endorsement, it's just awesome, and racingreference.info. So none of this should be surprising to you. Neither Fernando or Stroll got any wins or podiums last season because that Aston Martin was so weird. But what is sticking out to me is Fernando's Q3 percentage because he made Q3 a lot more than I remember last season. 54.1%. Over half of the races last season, he got into Q3 in that Aston Martin. I remember him doing well and being surprised by how well he was doing, but 54.1% well, that kind of surprised me.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that good. Like, was it all at one point in the season, or was that
It
just
was kind
spread
of
out?
sporadic.
Huh.
There were a few times at the beginning of the season where him and Lance both made it into Q3, but then after that, it just dropped off. Lance did it a few more times because, I mean, his Q3 percentage is 8.3. But Fernando was just really feeling this car for whatever reason, whether it's still Fernando being incredible or if it's something with the team dynamic, whatever it is, Fernando drove that Aston pretty well.
Yeah, Fernando wasn't. I'll say he wasn't horrible. Like, I don't remember him being bad.
No, he wasn't bad. It's just I guess I personally rate Fernando on a very specific type of standard. My baseline for Fernando is much higher than my baseline would be for Lance.
Yeah,
So,
former champion.
right. So like I mean, it was I think a lot of it was the car. I mean, Mo said it best. It was so hit or miss. It depended on the track, and that's true. Now, there were some tracks where Fernando just completely blew Lance out of the water, which of course. But
Yeah.
that Aston so okay, going back to the hype thing. Maybe I think this still tracks with what I've been saying that Fernando could throw a wrench in and not win a championship.
Okay.
I think that tracks. I think I'm right. God, I hope I'm right. And then the average finish position for both Fernando was 11.9 and Lance was 13.7, which is a little higher than I thought it would be. Honestly, for
Still
Lance,
out of, yeah. So let's say both are averaged out of the points, but Fernando 2 spots and like Lance 4.
that's a really earned 11.9 for Fernando too. You could tell he was clawing and fighting for that 11.9 average finish
Yes.
position.
Clawing and fighting other drivers plus his engineer when he said he'll disconnect the radio.
Yeah, yeah, that
I
too.
love it. Like, I don't know. That's really, I don't know. It still shows Fernando's a really old rookie.
Yeah, indeed. Really old rookie. By the way, I've been thinking about this a lot. You know, we're only going to have one rookie driver this season in Formula One. Arvid Lindebold.
Oh my goodness, we are.
So when we do our end of season, and I'm just looking way ahead, we can't even do rookie of the year because that's a default.
I mean, we can. It'll be between him and Fernando. Fernando's forever.
Fernando is forever. All right, Lewis, is there anything else you want to kind of do before we wrap up here for this week?
No, since I really wanted to get into the Adrian Newey thing and everything, but I couldn't get it set up again. The work and just family issues tonight. So
No, you're good. And if anything, it makes more sense to talk about it next week after we get the car reveal. By the way, we do get the McLaren and Aston car reveals this week,
ninth,
right?
Aston's on the 9th, I think.
Yeah,
That's
Aston and McLaren are the same day.
oh, so Monday.
Yeah, so then next week we're gonna be able to talk about Cadillac, Aston, and McLaren.
Oh,
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
yeah. Oh, Mo said something I didn't think about. We only have one rookie so far. you're forgetting about the Red Bulls switching drivers or the V Carb switching drivers.
You're right. Or Alpine deciding to ditch one of their guys for some other guy for some reason.
Yeah. Oh man. If we had to guess who was going to be the first one to not have a seat this year, if one person were to get kicked, it has to be Liam, right?
Yeah, Liam has
As much as I don't want it.
underperformed.
Yeah,
Liam
as
has
much
kind
as
of
I don't want
underperformed
it.
for where everybody thought he would.
Yeah, I don't want him to leave. I don't want to wish that on anybody, but like if he's underperforming in both teams.
I mean, it surprised both of us that Liam was still in the Racing Bull and Yuki wasn't.
Yeah. But I wonder if this is also I wonder if they will stay longer because we don't have Helmet Marco since he's gone.
Yeah, probably. And this super contradicts what I said at the beginning of the show, where I want new rookies and drivers to get a chance.
Yes.
So, like, for sure, I don't want Liam to go. I want Liam to have a chance to really prove himself and show what he's made of. But I could see Liam also being first on the chopping block.
Yeah. How long do you give people to like show themselves? A season or two?
So I've always thought it depended on the machinery they were in, right?
Okay.
Like if Mick in 2021 was in a Williams, I would have given him less grace in the 2021 Williams than I would have in the 2021 Haas. Because the 2021 Haas, we all remember how bad that car was. It was a
Yes.
bad car. They just did not care. So I give drivers like Mick way more grace. I'm not giving Nikita grace because he was a pay driver. He didn't need to be in Formula One to begin with. We all know why Nikita was in Formula One. But I don't know. In a car like the RB, which is kind of proven to be fine, like it's a solid midfield car, I would expect solid midfield results for
Yeah.
that
I
driver in
expect
that car. The
yeah,
first season, you could hang out in the back, but by your second, third seasons, I expect at least a couple top tens.
yeah, I was gonna say, I would say about a point every 4 races is probably my like threshold.
Yeah. Ugh. You're grading a little high.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's also had so many opportunities. I mean, don't forget he started last year in the Red Bull.
Yeah. Well, okay. We're grading on the car curve, though. I'm not going to judge anybody who's
Oh,
not Max Verstappen for not
yeah,
being able to drive that Red Bull,
I forgot the max tax.
the Max tax. Mose wants to get Herta in a car. Mose, let me tell you, I have a
Hey,
theory. I have a theory that Checo and Sergio are only at Cadillac to lay the foundations. And within the next 2 years, Herta is going to be replacing one of them. And I bet that's Checo
ooh, ooh,
or Valtteri. I guess it kind of depends on their head to head for the next couple of seasons. But one of them will retire and Herta will be in a Cadillac before 2029. Herta's
before
going
they
to
get
be
their,
driving a Cadillac.
I feel like before they get their own engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because why not have their own driver that's not really built from the ground up, but that has been trained with the team and everything. When they get their new engine, I feel like that'd be the perfect opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Going from Ferrari engine, which we don't really know exactly how it's going to be, but Ferrari, for the most part, seems like they have reliable engines.
Yeah. And I mean, let's not forget Cadillac knows how to build racing engines. Like
Yeah,
they know what they're doing. I'm not worried about them.
yeah. Oh, real quick.
Yes.
Have you heard the sounds of the V carb?
No, I haven't
Like,
heard the V carb yet.
oh my goodness, it sounds we're we're slowly getting past the vacuum cleaner sound, and it kind of sounds like a mix of a blown diffuser in there.
Oh.
Yes, the Ford sounds so good.
Are we going back to cargo loud?
Yes, I would love it. Cargo loud, even though it's only producing half the horsepower it really did last season, but it's just like it has like a roar to it,
Well, they cut off the
rumble.
muffler.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They did the old cat back delete. I'm from Iowa. That's what we do.
All right. That's been Formula Friday. I've been Nick. That's been Lewis. Lewis, I know you had a lot going on tonight, so I do appreciate you being able to jump in and talk a bit. I appreciate you, and no need to apologize. You're a father and a busy guy, so I'm never going to fault you for anything. I get you're good. Next week, join us at 8 p.m. Central Wednesday. We'll talk about whatever news comes out, however other many AI companies decided to glom onto a Formula One team. We're going to talk about Cadillac and William, or not Williams, Cadillac, McLaren, Aston. Lewis is going to have a whole essay about Aston, so that could be an hour
Oh,
or two. I'm going to let
yes.
Lewis just take as much time as he needs to talk about every aspect of this Aston. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't care, frankly. I just want him to talk about the Adrian Newey Aston Martin.
I have so much. And now that you said an essay, I actually might write like a full on paper on this. That sounds so beautiful. This car is so amazing.
Yep, and
Oh,
that's the other thing. Next week is also the first week of preseason testing, so we're gonna have a lot of Barcelona news to talk about. It's gonna be great. Not Barcelona.
oh,
It's Bahrain, right?
yeah. Because they
Yeah.
did Barcelona this year for the closed off.
Yep.
Kind of
We're
closed off.
the closed, not closed. But yeah, so we're gonna get 2 weeks of Bahrain preseason, and then it's and we're back.
Yes.
And in a
Let's
couple
go.
weeks, we're gonna give our preseason predictions.
Man, we're back into the season. Are we ready for lights out and away we go?
Oh god, I hot take, love Crofty a lot.
Me too. I have a friend. I know we're doing the Midwest goodbye right now.
We
I'm
are.
fine with this. I have a friend who watches F1 TV and he says I really need to watch it, but I just can't because of Crofty.
I I hope that the Apple TV
Oh yeah.
broadcast isn't just pulling the F1 TV broadcast. I hope they're at least doing Sky Sports one more time. I want one more season of Crofty just to say goodbye.
Yeah. And then you can say lights out and away we go to him.
Mm. All right. I'm Nick. That's been Lewis. This has been Formula Friday. Until